Well, hello, everybody. Sorry I'm a little late here. Again? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Oh, there you are. Ah, the chat wasn't there, and then it appeared. I got to read it here. Hi. Oh, Julie. Oh, okay. Karen, thank you. You were here for... Sorry I'm late. I really apologize. Julie, hi. Kiri, hello. Dave. Your dog removed the styrofoam panel next to your window. Oh, no. Oh, dear. You know what? Dogs can be pretty clever. Oh, no. Hello, Alicia. Hi. Yeah, lots of bugs. Absolutely. Oh, everybody. Right on time. What is it? I don't know if you've ever seen the series of movies, is it Princess Diaries? It's with Julie Andrews. She's the queen of this little Genovia, this little country and everything in Europe, kind of make-believe country. Anyway, her granddaughter is the one that finds out that she's a princess, and she is kind of in training and everything. And at one point, Julie Andrews is actually running late for this one big presentation with dignitaries and everything. And her assistant is like, Your Majesty, you're late. And she's like, the queen is never late. So I'm like, we start when I show up, right? Not that I'm a queen, and by no means and everything, but it's just kind of like, okay, when the host is here, that's when we start, right? Mary, hello. My cousin is here. Katrina's sister, hi. So you were on time, Alicia. Yes, you were. They're cute movies. If you've never seen them at all, they're really cute. I'm the queen of my life, right? Oh, goodness sakes. How is everybody today? And how was your weekend? I had a very, very wonderful weekend. My cousin who's on here, Mary Urbanski, their family has a home on a lake up in northern Minnesota, and I got to spend the weekend with them, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful, just some R&R, a weekend away and in the north woods of Minnesota on a lake, and it was great. It was so nice. And they were the perfect hostesses, so I got to see them. It was wonderful. Oh, Dave, that's so sweet. Thank you. Your dog is queen. Probably, Kiri, probably. Oh, thank you, Mary. It was wonderful. I did take a little bit of video, not a whole lot, but I'll put together a little clip so you can kind of see what the area was like. But it was so great. Yeah, so I will accept the title for moderator. Oh, no. There are a lot of good moderators out there, you guys. I have a bunch of really good ones here today, and I want to thank you so much for being here. Yeah, and I am very, very happy to be able to train anybody who wants to learn, and Link Ninja. There you go, Julie. I like that one better. I like that better than Queen Mod. It's like, I'm a Link Ninja. Everybody's like, how do you do that? It was even, when Roots and Refuge goes on, and because I'm a moderator for them, and they'll have 2,000 plus people on their lives. And I don't know if Patty's here yet. I haven't seen her yet, but she's a moderator there too. And when they went live to give their announcement that they were going to be selling their farm and moving and everything, they had it was either 9 or 10,000 people in the chat. And it was flying. It was just insane. But anyway, other times Maya would be like, my goodness, I barely say anything. And she's got this link up. It's like, oh, so it's fun to be able to actually surprise the host too. So I kind of like that. Oh, yes, Alicia, we'll definitely keep your mom in prayer. Absolutely. Yes, I love fall time. I really do. Fall is probably my favorite season. It's so great. Oh, no, I didn't know that. Okay, so Mama Z's Texas Kitchen. Keep her in prayers too. So Eliza, hello. Oh, and you're in your garden. How fun. I spent a good bit of time out there myself today. Thank you, Katrina's sister. That's funny. Oh, yep. It is. It's hard to moderate on your phone. You really can't. Oh, you were the only. Yeah, I had another commitment. I couldn't be there. And they get a good number of people on there. So I should be able to be there this week, Carrie. So I can do that. GDP, for anybody who doesn't know, is Green Dream Project. That's Jim and Jess that are out in southeast Arizona, and they're building an earth bag dome home covered in cob, and it is quite the process, and it is so unique and it's so beautiful, and how they're doing it, and I can't wait to see the final product of their home. You know, the how everything ends, because they're putting some really unique features into it, and I think it's going to be. All right. Well, today it wasn't too bad. Today's about 82, 85, something like that. Humidity was down a little bit this afternoon, but our skies are all just white. Even though we have a sunny day, we don't have any blue skies because we're getting a lot of the smoke in our atmosphere here from out west, and so it's all blowing it here, and so our skies are all hazy. So oh, okay, yep. Alicia, they're a sweet couple, hardworking, very gentle people, and they're doing some great things and really interesting things. So really outside the box, and so if you guys can see them at all and catch them, it'd be great. Green Dream Project. So other than we did get rain last Tuesday, like an all-day rain, which was wonderful and beautiful. And it's like the plants in my garden just doubled in size in the one day. And so I think it has saved some crops, saved some lawns. But we've been hot and dry since then. And we're supposed to be getting some on Wednesday, so hopefully that'll help out. But we're still way below what we should be getting. No, it's not bothering my lungs. It's not coming down kind of that far. It's staying pretty much in the atmosphere. It's not like settling on here. We've got a pretty good breeze going and everything, but it's half a country away. And so, it's pretty filtered by the time it gets here, but it still is enough to make a difference in the sky, which is really kind of interesting. So at least I don't think it's bothering my lungs. I haven't noticed anything, but thank you for asking, Alicia. That's very sweet of you. Keeps raining north of you, maybe a couple hours up the road. Oh, you had some Friday night, Eliza? Okay. Well, maybe we did, and I was up north. So I don't, so maybe we did. So that would have been good. That would be really, really good. So, but anyway, things are kind of growing and flourishing a little bit. I did do a garden tour video, and it'll be coming out Thursday. So that's all done and everything. I hope everybody was able to see my last video I put up yesterday that was on the my strawberry bed and doing the clips on the side of the bed for the netting and everything. So if you haven't seen that, you got to check it out because it has worked so incredibly well. And I'm just, it was something that I was trying to figure out for quite a while and had some ideas, but it's like how you want something to work, but you don't know quite how to put it together, how it needs to look, how it needs to work. You know what the final use needs to be and how it has to work. But it's like, oh, how do I get there? What do I use? What's going to be, the cheapest thing to use? How can I make it function well in a multiple different ways? And so, anyway, so Kiri, you once flew around a wildfire in Arizona. You're going up to California. It was weird to see the smoke up there. Yep. Those are, the smoke goes up. It's almost like a volcano. It's just headed way up into the atmosphere. It's pretty amazing. Thank you, Kiri. I appreciate that. So what else do I have? So the other thing I'm working on, I still have a few things left to do in the main garden. Not much at all, but you'll kind of see what I've got done come Thursday. You'll have to watch for that. But I'm also redoing the south bed along my house where I've had the planters of herbs and different things like that. That planter just totally fell apart this year. And so I've been rebuilding that and kind of having to do that. So that's taking a little bit of time. And then I have another project, 2 more projects going out in the yard. Oh, it's like I think I just get one done and then it's like, oh, something else has to be taken care of, right? Part of having a home, there's always something to be working on. Absolutely here. Busy bee. Sometimes busier than I want to be. Oh goodness, yes. So what did you guys do over the weekend? That's true, Kiri. That's absolutely true. Sorry, I got some ice in that mouthful of water. So, alrighty. Well, let's see if I can find these here. You guys are quiet tonight. Is everybody tired? You all tired? And I got like my little maracas. I put them in, grow some gourds. I put it in there and shake some seeds around in there. Okay, maybe I got too much sleep this weekend. Hi, Misfit Mountain Farm. Hello. You're exhausted. Oh, yeah. At least you had a quiet weekend. It's been such a cool summer. Well, it's kind of nice that you're having a cooler summer. Yeah, seeds. There you go. Absolutely. Well, as you saw by the title, I'm going to talk about 4 clocks today. And when I was showing my garden plan like a month ago or something like that, what I had planted, I thought were nasturtiums. But I want to show you kind of the flowers. Here's nasturtiums and here's 4 o'clocks. They look a little bit similar. And so there was nothing that said on these packets that they were 4 o'clocks. It just says Marvel of Peru, right? And so I'm looking all over here and there's nothing at 4 o'clocks. I think on the website we talked about it being 4 o'clocks, but once I hit the seeds, I didn't remember that, and it was like, oh, okay, these are nasturtiums too, just a different color and everything. So, and then there's this pack of Marvel of Peru. Here's these are Salmon Sunset, and here is a mixed colors. So anyway, this does show it a little bit more of their shape and everything. So hey, Writer Dust, thank you. But again, it doesn't say on there, so I actually wrote it on the back so that I would know that these were 4 o'clocks. But when I was showing these and talking about them like a month ago when I just put the garden in, the tinker's wife, Patty, was like, those aren't nasturtiums. I thought these were nasturtiums I was planting. And she's like, no, these are 4 o'clocks. I was like, they said they were nasturtiums. I thought that they were. And so we kind of went back and forth, but I did find out later that these are definitely 4 o'clocks. So, which is fine. I have a whole bed of 4 o'clocks. And they're going to be beautiful and colorful and all of these colors popping up, which is going to be kind of fun. I do have nasturtiums planted too in a different bed. But I figured it's like, I'm just going to let these grow. They're fun, easy to grow. And so I just figured, well, it's just a small bed and be pop of color in the garden, and I don't really have to take care of them. I don't have to, be canning them or anything like that. But anyway, so when they were in there, I actually had gotten these to add to my squash bed that I was hoping to have ready for this summer, but it's not. And I was going to plant these in there among them because not only are these pollinators, but they're also repel certain rodents and pests and stuff like that. So that's what I had gotten the 4 o'clocks for, is to plant them. I had gotten about 8 different flowering plants to put among the squash and different things like that to really help. And that was one of them. And that didn't happen out there this year. Hopefully it'll be done by this fall. So anyway, so I'm going to enjoy them. But now I was like, okay, now that I have these, is there any benefit to them? Can I even use them? Yes, they will be pretty, Alicia. So, and yes, Misfit Mountain Farm, there are certain parts of them that are. And so I'm going to go through that because I was like, I need to see what these are good for, because, yeah, we have flowers that are just pretty and everything, but it's got to be some other use other than just attracting bees or, telling gophers to take a hike or something. I don't know. So, as a kid, you love 4 o'clocks. They're funny. Yes, they're effortless blooms. When my girls were little, they had like their own little round garden, and it was like, that was the girls' garden. It's like, okay, you can plant whatever you want in there and everything. And so 4 o'clocks were something that every year they wanted to put in there. Now they are a perennial, but here in Minnesota, they don't always last that long. And quite often, to tell you the truth, when it's the flowering garden, I will end up just pulling things up because I kind of reconfigure it for the next year. So, hey Glenn, hello. Thank you so much. Alicia, I will get to that. And so, which is kind of a fun thing on exactly what, why they are called what they are. So they are a hardy perennial. um, to repels flies. I don't know. You might want to get some of those fly strips and just hang them around for just immediate short term. Something like that. It might help. Otherwise, citronella plants, but I don't know if they're so safe to keep inside. So, yeah, 4-o'clocks are hardy perennials which go dormant in the winter and survive because they have really, really deep taproots, a tuberous root. It's kind of like a carrot root, really. And they can survive below freezing. It says even in cold climates where the temperatures reach well below freezing, these tubers and they're like a carrot, like I said, which can be a foot long or more. So they put in a deep root, which means you don't have to water them very often at all. And they can survive with heavy mulches, or you can even dig them up, store them in the winter, and then replant them in the spring. They do flower from, so if you keep them as a perennial, keep them in the garden, and then they're automatically have this big root, and they just start growing again in the spring. Because right now I just started them from seed, so they're going to flower a little bit later. But otherwise, they normally flower from mid-April to October in a more mild climate. No, not in Minnesota. So it would probably be more June through September, October, something like that. And they're drought hardy, which is a fantastic thing right now with half the country in a drought. They like loamy, kind of sandy soil, and they like a sun for most of the day and everything. So they have a long history of cultivation and use around the world. A lot of different functions. Okay, so flowers of the 4-o'clock family, and most of them, I mean, the most common one is the marvel of Peru, and their Latin name is actually Mirabilis jalapa, and they can come in many, many different names. They're called Beauty of the Night, a common 4-o'clock, a false jalap, 4-o'clock flower, 4-o'clock plant, garden jalap, jalap plant, Japanese wonderflower, low red shrub, marvel of Peru, marvel of the world, pearl of Egypt, prairie 4-o'clock, pretty by night, and then a whole bunch of different Clavelia, Maravilla, Bonina, Gulabas, Gulbank, Gulbus, Isabelita. A lot of different names here. Morning Rose, Noche Buena, Numera, Patrachi. Oh, a couple, looks like maybe Indian names or something like that. So anyway, whole bunch of different names. But the Mirabilis jalapa, or marvel of Peru, 4-o'clocks, that's all I'm going to say at this point. It is mostly grown for ornamental purposes and everything. But the name was given to them in 1753 by, it looks like a Dutch person. It's Carl van Linne, so that might be Dutch. And the origin was in Jalapa in Guatemala, or in Mexico and everything. So in the Central America area down in there. So hi, Patty. How are you? Oh, you guys are funny. Can I repeat that? Oh, I don't think I have enough time in this hour to do that. Oh, goodness. So there's some more names here that I don't know that I'm going to even attempt. Oh, that's funny. Flowers usually open from late afternoon or at dusk. It says namely between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock, giving rise to its common name, the 4 o'clocks, because that's when generally the flowers open up. So in morning, in the heat of the day, they kind of closed up. But as the sun is starting to kind of go down in the sky, they open up. So there you go, Alicia. That's how they got their names. And then at that point, the flowers produce a strong, sweet-smelling fragrance throughout the night. And then they close up in the morning. So new flowers open the following day. The flowers of the plant have no real petals. It says the calyx is in the place where the corolla should have been. So it's really just like a solid flower, and it just closes up, opens up, different things. So like that. Processing your wild lettuce. Woohoo! Go for it, Patty. So it is a plant that stands pretty straight and tall. It's bushy, lots of branches. Here's some more big words. Glabrous or slightly pubescent. I don't know what you're talking about, a pubescent plant, but that's what it said. I also have the links for all of this information below in the show notes. So if any of my moderators want to grab those links, you can put them in the chat there too. A lot of people only grow them as annual plants. They can grow up to 3 feet tall. Depending. I mean, you can cut the back if you want to keep them a little bit more organized in your garden or something like that. It's found growing in cultivated fields, like cane fields, in waste ground, disturbed sites, roadsides, abandoned fields, railways, margins of forests, shrublands, and pastures. That's quite a variety of things. It thrives in moderately fertile, moist, but well-drained, sandy, loamy, or chalky soil in full sun. The plant has blackish-brown roots, and the stems are very straight and square. They're kind of thick. It says like all 4 o'clock plants die back to the roots each year. Yep. So the leaves are kind of narrow and linear to oval, kind of heart-shaped in that way. They're, kind of normal leaves like that. And then the flowers are, as I have been showing you, the flowers, they're so pretty. So I have no idea which plants are which ones. I think I just took them and kind of mixed them in there. So we'll see what comes up. You guys will have to watch my future garden tour videos and to see how they're all doing and everything. The flowers are funnel shaped. They come in from white to yellow to pink to magenta. They have 5 lobes and 3 long stamens. Flowers occur in clusters of 1 to 5. So most of them having 2 to 4 in a cluster. And so that's kind of where it is. So because the blossoms are pretty short-lived, you want to kind of make sure that you're going and, deadheading them, stuff like that, so that they can continue to produce new blossoms. It usually helps out with that way. All right. So you're kind of learning a little bit about that. Let me see if there was anything more on the growing. These are cultivated for the brilliant color and pleasing odor of its flowers. Due to its simplicity, the breeding behavior of the self-flower colors has furnished classical material for illustrating the simple laws of inheritance. I don't know what that means. But anyway, it's native to tropical South America, but it has become naturalized throughout tropical and warm temperate climates. Okay. Um, let me see. What else I have here? The Grow Anywhere plant. There you go, Alicia. Absolutely. Okay. Now, the things that I've got 10 pages worth of stuff here, so sorry about this. Some of the medicinal uses here is it can cure inflammation. And again, these are all, these have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, but, or longer. I think, in the 1700s, that's when they first started giving it a name and different things. But I'm sure that there were, native cultures that used them long before that. So thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. It says one of the prominent medicinal uses of Marvel of Peru is in the treatment of inflammations. The leaves have got remarkable anti-inflammatory properties that make it very powerful against various kinds of skin inflammations. It is also due to this characteristic of the herb that it is used in the treatment of swellings. So, skin inflammations, I would imagine, like if you have a really bad eczema or something like that, or I don't know how it would use with trying to get the inflammation down from poison ivy or anything like that. It doesn't say, but might even be not such a bad thing to try out. Hey, Ricky, welcome. Another medicinal use is in the treatment of wounds. Sorry, I need a drink. There must be something in the air. Thank you. Glad that you made it. Parts of the plant not only help in speeding up the healing process, but also relieve pain. It's also an aphrodisiac. It says libido enhancement is among the herb's oldest and most popular uses. It says it increases the libido. So that's all I'm going to say. It's got a diuretic and purgative uses. Purgative. You purge it, but is it purgative? Probably. So anyway, it's a diuretic. It makes an ideal substance for promoting diuresis, which may be used in the treatment of several conditions. It also possesses some laxative properties. It's been used to boost that in users. Among the conditions the herb is used to treat due to its diuretic properties is dropsy. So that can help in that, which is pretty amazing. Some traditional uses other than what I've already mentioned. It says the fresh juice of the leaves is applied to the body to dispel the heat and itching arising from dyspepsia. So with the dyspepsia, I'm not exactly sure what dyspepsia is. If somebody knows, that'd be great. But anyway, that was the root is purgative, and the fresh juice of the leaves can help with the itching and everything. I wonder if that would be good for people who have shingles, because that is it's a painful swelling of the skin, and just the pain and the itching and the heat and everything. That might be a good thing for shingles. For the root, you can take the paste and apply it as a poultice to treat scabies and muscular swellings. And they use that in Nepal a lot. The root juice is used in the treatment of diarrhea, indigestion, and fevers. You can powder the root and bake it with corn flour, and that helps with any disorders for women's cycles. Leaves are considered diuretic, again, as an infusion of the leaves is prescribed to help reduce any of that problems or inflammation. So the leaves, you can use them as a poultice. You can use them fresh for an infusion of, like for a tea, different things like that. You can dry them and keep them on hand, store them. Again, with the leaves, you can use them to treat abscesses and other wounds. So the juice from the leaves, which they're pretty substantial leaves. They're not like lightweight and flowery or feathery or anything like that. They're good substance to those leaves, and so you could probably get some really good juice out of them. Again, in India, they crush the leaves and they use them to poultice boils. And then, and any other abscesses and different things like that. Oh, just thank you, Julie. Appreciate that. There's a lot of them that treat different STDs and different things. So I don't really want to go into that too closely, but you can look it up in the links that I put in there. The dried root is given with milk as a strengthening medicine. All right, the seeds, you can take the seeds. Now, the seeds to take and chew and eat, they're toxic, so you don't want to do that. But some of them, they can pound them into a powder and use them with some other things to make a cosmetic powder to help remove acne, which is kind of cool. So anyway, that would be a surface thing on the skin. You don't want to ingest the seeds. The powdered root is used with rice powder and sandalwood for, again, for the skin and everything, and helping when they're especially going out in the sun, different things like that. So almost more like a sunscreen, which would be kind of interesting. You guys are really quiet. Either that or the chat stopped. Okay. Either you're just spellbound and you're just listening. Oh, this is funny. That was great. In Malaysia, they use the plant to treat influenza, fever, and inflammation. Chinese use it for diabetes. In Thailand, they use the seed powder to treat infections, again, on the skin, different things. Oh, you guys, thanks. Indigenous people in Mexico use it to cure many illnesses, including dysentery, diarrhea, muscle pain, and abdominal colic. In South Brazil, they use it to treat inflammatory and painful diseases. Again, dysentery, laxative, muscular pain, abdominal things. In Brazil, the Kayapo Indians inhale the powdered dried flowers as a snuff for headaches. Okay, it must work. The Asarani Indians grate the seeds and the tuberous seeds. So there must be seeds that form on the root or something, not on the actual seed. But they will take that and drink it for intestinal parasites. So it's toxic. So it will kill anything that's in there too. The Shipibo Canibo Indians put the flowers in baths to treat colds and flu. That would be kind of cool. Take a bath with all these floating petals all around, but they only last a day. So you'd have to gather them right away and make sure that you have a cold at the same time, right? So I don't know. Hey, Sunny's Place, how are you? So the plant is also in the US used for mumps and bone fractures. And it can also used to hasten childbirth. The roots are used in allergic skin disorders and asthma. But I mean, it's like kind of covering everything inside and outside. Powder of the seeds is used for conjunctivitis in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Juice of the flower and scrapings of banana stem is used for cataracts in animals. I suppose you could try it on your animals if you have, a dog or a goat or something that's getting cataracts, and it's like, try that. So, I don't know, grow your flower 4 o'clocks for cataracts. There you go. In Madagascar, they wash the root or make a root powder decoction and use it with sugar in chicken soup as a purgative. So you don't have to just like take the straight powder. So they've found different ways to be able to make it edible and appealing and different things, so people are like, they'll make it sure that you can take it. Root pulp diluted in palm oil is used as a local topical application for swellings, again in the Congo. In Burundi, they use the whole fruit, and I don't know what the fruit of must be the flower of the plant. Anyway, they dry it, powder it, and use it locally, again for wounds. Leaves are used as a magical charm in a sauce with belly of beef, fruits of piper, guineas, and palm oil. Guineas. I've never seen that word before, and I don't know how to say it. Okay. So what you can do is like do 5 parts of the dried leaves mixed with sugar, reduce it to 1/3, and give it for urinary tract infections and bladder stones. So there you go, for stones too. Again, can help relieve itching, poultice, broken and fractured bones, dislocations, knotted muscles. I mean, it's just like a whole bunch of stuff. Hey, Dave, how are you doing? No worries. So now Brazilians, the juice of the root is dropped into the ear for earaches. Okay. In Brazil, they make a paste of the leaf and the flower. So take the leaf and flower and then paste it up and apply it to infections of the skin, such as itchiness, eczema, herpes, skin spots, and skin infections. Brazilians use the root to combat worms. Again, intestinal parasites, so we talked about edema, diarrhea, dysentery, abdominal colic, syphilis, and liver infections. So just a whole bunch of different things. So anyway, that's all the medicinal things. Tender young leaves can be cooked as a vegetable if you want to do that. I would probably make sure that you're maybe cooking it with something else, kale or spinach or other veggies or something, season it up. The other thing is an edible crimson dye. So crimson would be like a deep red. So an edible crimson dye is obtained from the flowers and is used for coloring cakes and jellies. So you can decorate your cakes with your flowers too. Oh, thanks, Dave. Well, I just, I do a lot of research here. I'm trying to figure all this out, but I appreciate that. 3 pounds dried and crushed. Okay. Uh, even though it says that the seeds are toxic, they said they can crush them and use them sparingly as a pepper substitute. I would probably want to stick to peppers myself. I don't know. But I suppose in an emergency, however, in an emergency, I don't know that you would really be looking at pepper as an emergency type of food. So I'm not sure. So, but they do say it is an emergency food only eaten when all else fails. So there you go. If if the grocery stores go empty, your garden craps out, everything is gone, but your 4 o'clocks are blooming, you can eat your 4 o'clocks. So there you go. I don't think I would go that far. Oh, that'd be great. Also in India, the leaves are mixed with crushed garlic and given to hens with the belief that they will yield more eggs. So anybody who's got chickens out there and you've got a whole bunch of extra garlic that you don't know what to do with, you can put the leaves of your 4 o'clocks with that. Just don't inhale them. That's true. Oh, Patty, there you go. You can have some fun with them. Yes, you do, Dave. You have got like the chicken palace there. Again, used widely as an ornamental. It can also be used to remediate the condition of soils that are polluted with heavy metals like cadmium. And it has to do with the long root and everything, because it can end up, taking up the, the bad chemicals in the soil and everything. And if that were the case, if you're planting them just like sunflowers, if you're planting them to give health to some toxic soil or something like that, eating food. So, but that's another use for these that you could possibly do. Hey, Patty, how are you? So precautions. Again, the seeds and the roots are reported to cause digestive disturbances. Now, what a disturbance is, they don't define. I mean, it could be anywhere from gas to throwing up. So I have no idea. But again, the seeds have neurotoxic chemicals in them and should not be ingested. Avoid during pregnancy because the plant has a uterine stimulant action to it and can cause miscarriage. So you don't want to be doing that. But anyway, so yeah, anywhere from candida to constipation to hives to worms to earaches to different things. I mean, just kind of like all over the place. Oh, Connie, I'm so sorry. I hope things get better. Well, if it's cataracts, you can always put some, what was it? The leaves with the, oh my goodness, where is it? Where did we find that? Oh, juice of the flower and scrapings of banana stems. So, but we will be praying for you. So sorry that's different, very difficult. So anyway, that is the story about 4 o'clocks. And for those of you who came in a little bit later, they got their name because that's when they open to bloom for the day, right around 4 o'clock, between 4 and 8 o'clock, but generally around 4 o'clock. They stay open all night long where they're blooming, and come morning they close up. And they're very, very short-lived blossoms, but they reproduce very quickly. I mean, new blossoms are coming out all the time. So probably Alicia, but I was being a little facetious. Sorry about that. I think that was it on that. Don't know if anybody has any questions on there. Again, I put some links down below, so that it's probably a lot could be with the smoke and the different things like that. So you were selling one of the AC window units you have here. Oh, very good. You haven't been using them in the heat? I'm glad that you're getting rid of things up, Patty. That's good. I know that that's something you've wanted to do. So, all right. My garden tip for tonight is that when you have a crop, whether it's in-ground bed, raised bed, container, whatever you have, when it is finished producing for the season, and sometimes it might be, I'm thinking of like my strawberries are just a June bearing thing. And so, anyway, the thing that you can do, there one of two things, that if it's a perennial, like strawberries or herbs or whatever, trim them back. I'm not talking about just cut them straight down to the ground, but trim them back so that new growth can come up and help to, get the plant going and have it flourish more. So you want to be able to do that. You have June bearing too, yeah. So I was just doing that this morning. In fact, I was going through because everything was just like bushy, and I mean they produced well, but I could take the netting off now. They're all finished, and wanted to trim them back so that there's a lot of new sprouts coming up. Want those to be able to come up so they're just not dying off, and it keeps the plant a little healthier, gives some more air and sunlight to the ground around it as well as to the roots. And then I can pick and choose the runners that I want to go out there and establish some new plants. So yep, they do benefit from that. So anyway, but if you have annuals they're all done, say you've put in radishes or lettuce or beets or different things that are, just for 2 months or something like that, or a month, and that they're done, they're out, and you've got some bare area now in your garden. And think about maybe putting another short crop in there, whether it's going to be, again, radishes or lettuce or whatever, or if you're going to put some green manure crop in there, like clover or something, to help put some nutrients back into the soil, fill it up, allow it to get some good worms underneath it, different things like that. And, if you do something like that, it's nothing that you have to then care for or do, but you can even do that in your containers too. Put some clover in there and have them go, and then keep trimming it down, cut it down, that type of thing. So, Dave, you're going to use cover crops. Good for you. Oh, that's nice. Pea oat mix. Very good. Yeah, I have some annual ryegrass I'm going to put in some of my areas. But like when the beans are done, mine will probably be done in 2 or 3 weeks. But then I still have 2 months at least that I think something could grow in there. So I'm going to start putting that in those areas that are going to be bare. So don't just, leave the plants dead and just laying there, so that you've got kind of garbage type of thing in your garden. Make sure that you have, just treat it well, give it what it needs. And so that'll be good. All right, my prep tip for tonight, check out Living Traditions. Sarah put out a video today on lids, for canning lids. And she said, again, it's very, very hard to find just the canning lids. They make them fine. I mean, there are a lot of jars available now, and they've got them for the jars, but they aren't making separate boxes for the lids, which is crazy because they can make enough for the jars. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, she did a whole video on how to use Tatler or Tatler lids. Harvest Guard is another brand that are really, really good. And so if you're having a hard time finding regular lids or they're horribly expensive, check out the reusable lids, either Tatler or Harvest Guard, like I said, and then watch Sarah's video from today, Living Traditions, and so that you can learn how to use them because they're a little bit different. So you need to cut your peas back there layered over like a trunk plant. Oh, that's funny, Patty. Oh, goodness sakes. Yep. That's another crop that would be ending now, or if they haven't already for you, but a lot of people in July, that's when they get done harvesting peas. So pull those up and put something else in there. That would be great. Prices are falling a bit. Oh, good. Good. Oh, I'm glad you saw that, Kiri. That is so great. Yep, it's going to be a very good video on that. So very helpful. And both of them are such great teachers with all that they do. And so she goes through every step so carefully and thoroughly. And so it's like, oh, yeah, you can do it. And she shows how easy it is. And you know, the differences between what we've been used to with the metal lids compared to those lids. So you did, Patty? Awesome. Thank you, Alicia. Appreciate it. Yep. Yes, Tinker's Wife. Absolutely. I have not looked at things for probably a week and a half or something. So that would be great if they're starting to come out with them. That'd be fantastic. So yes, guys, another hour has passed. Again, I put all the links for, oh, thank you, Dave, for putting the link up. I believe that's for Sarah's video then, right? So put the link for her video up there. But any of the information that I gave you tonight, I've got in the descriptions below. The links are down there, and so you can check out more information. There's a lot there. So I don't remember half of what I read either, so I don't expect you to remember just hearing it other than, okay, maybe that would be a good thing to grow, you know, and then it's like, what was that for? So, but yes, you guys, thank you so much for coming. I don't know if Freedom Homestead's going to be on in an hour or not, but I know Lisa at Sutton's Days, I think, is on right now. So if you want to go check out a couple more live shows tonight, welcome to do that. And thank you so much for coming and spending this hour with me. It was so great. I really appreciate you guys. And so take care. God bless. Always have hope. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Oh, and remember, I've got my first garden tour video coming out Thursday. Good night.